Summary of Kokoro by Natsume Sōseki. Kokoro is a novel by Japanese author Natsume Soseki, first published in 1914 as a serial in the Japanese newspaper Asahi Shimbun. The novel explores the transition from the traditional Japanese Meiji society to the modern era, as reflected in the friendship between a young man and his mentor, an older man whom he calls Sensei, or teacher. Although they become close, the young Soseki wonders about his mentor's past. Soseki's theme of isolation, frequently explored in his works, is the primary theme here as well, along with elements of egoism and guilt. The book also explores themes of the struggle to assimilate to the changing times, the changing roles of women, and the importance of self. The characters are grappling with their identities and the cost of weakness as they struggle to find their place. The book's ending is controversial, and it has been heavily debated. Kokoro is considered a classic of pre-war Japanese literature and is still read and studied widely both in Japan and abroad. It has been adapted into two films, in 1955 and 1973. An anime adaptation was released in 2009, and television and manga adaptations have been produced. As Kokoro begins, Sōseki is a young man bored by life. He befriends the older sensei, who believes the young man has sought him out of loneliness. He sees himself as unworthy of society and having no help to offer. Although Soseki is often confused by Sensei, he learns more about the old man by talking to Sensei's wife, Shizu. The two become closer, and Soseki learns that a friend's sudden death led Sensei to isolate himself from society. Shizu loves her husband, but is unable to reach him and get through his walls. Soseki confronts Sensei with his suspicions that the old man is deliberately walling himself off from others. Sensei is not sure he can trust Soseki, but the two develop a trust, and Sensei promises he will share his story when the time is right. Soseki's relationship with his parents is good, but he grows bored at home and compares his father unfavorably with Sensei. He returns home after graduation and helps his father in the garden, but soon his father takes ill at the same time that Emperor Meiji does. Soseki, seeing his father suffering from the same symptoms that Shizu said her mother had before she passed, becomes convinced that his father will die soon. While tending to his father, Soseki gets a letter from Sensei. He reads it and learns that Sensei has decided to kill himself. He races to the train, praying that both his father and Sensei will live long enough for him to help. He continues to read Sensei's story, which reveals his life story as promised. Sensei is 20 when he loses his parents to typhoid. His uncle steals the money meant for his inheritance for his business, and Sensei, furious, cuts himself off from his uncle. He leaves the family home and rents a room in the home of a soldier's widow and her daughter. Although he is angry and suspicious of everyone due to all he has lost, he soon finds himself becoming close with the widow's daughter Ahosen. The widow is kind and trusting, and although it takes a while for him to get past his suspicions, he eventually reveals his past to them. However, he is not yet confident enough to reveal his feelings to Ahosen. Sensei is concerned about his friend Kei, a deeply religious man with an obsession with torturing the body to glorify the soul. He invites Kei to live with him in an attempt to humanize him, hoping these kind women will help him. However, Kei and Ahosen soon develop feelings for each other, and Sensei is overcome with jealousy and anger. When Kei confesses his feelings to Sensei, Sensei loses his cool and berates his friend, accusing him of betraying his faith. Kei agrees, but Sensei does not trust him. He asks the widow Okusan for Ojozen's hand in marriage. Okusan agrees, but Sensei does not tell Kei what has happened. Kei kills himself soon after, and although he does not express this in his suicide letter, Sensei is overcome with guilt and believes his engagement to Ahosen led to his friend's suicide. Although Sensei and Ahosen marry and have many happy years together, both admit to Soseki in their private moments that they are not as close as they could be due to the barrier Sensei has erected. Sensei worries about spoiling his wife's innocence with the revelation of his deception that led to Kei's suicide and their marriage. There is a lot that goes unsaid between them, and Sensei buries his guilt by losing himself in alcohol and books. However, neither gets rid of his pain for long, and Sensei eventually gives up on them, only drinking alcohol when he needs to be in good spirits. Emperor Meiji soon dies, followed by his trusted general Nogi. Seeing that the times are changing, Sensei decides it is time to share his life story and requests Sōseki visit. However, Sōseki cannot come due to his father's illness, so Sensei writes down his life as a testament to his closest friend. He states that he hopes his life story will be a guide to those who have much to learn about life. However, he asks that his story not be publicized until his innocent wife has passed. As he ends the letter, Sensei tells Sōseki that he will be dead by the time the letter reaches him. Natsumi Sōseki, born Natsumi Kinosuke, was a Japanese novelist, scholar of British literature, and composer of Japanese poetry. One of the most famous Japanese novelists of all time, his major works were released in an 11-year period between 1905 and his death in 1916.
Many of his works dealt with the modernization of Japan. For 20 years, he appeared on the Japanese 1,000 yen note. His works are still widely read and discussed worldwide.